Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story, A Wandering Dork with me, Daniel. It's Season 5, Episode 2, and today we start our second campaign in the EFL. This time it's been a very busy summer in the transfer window, so we go into the League 2 season with a bit of confidence. We're looking to get a good result against Moneybag Salford to start with, a hot but very wet day at Meadowbank, and let's see if we can get off to a good start this season, and hopefully set the tone for what will be a good 8 or 9 months. But firstly, of course, we did have our transfer special a few days back on New Year's Eve. That was the last episode, so if you did miss it, do check it out in the eye above. We had a really busy summer transfer window, lots of players coming in and out, so it's important you find out who's in the squad today, as a lot of them are pretty new faces. But a massive thanks to those of you that do continue to support the series and the channel in general. I really do appreciate it, and it's the first episode from this series since the new year, so I hope you all had a good new year period. We're hoping 2020 will bring good things for this FM20 series with Dorking, and maybe even a promotion this season. I think it may be a little bit too soon, but of course we can be optimistic and start dreaming. If you are enjoying the series and looking forward to another season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. It makes such a difference to the performance, and I really do appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, then subscribe for daily FM20 content from this story and our head coach series as well. But on to the first day of the season, there's nothing else to focus on bar the football. We talked about all the transfer news, we came back on this date in the last episode, and we're also sticking to a pretty similar tactic that we will run you through any slight tweaks we've made. So let's go and have a look at how Salford are getting on. I just want to see if they've still been spending money really. I'd guess not, because their finances are insecure. Last season they finished down near the relegation zone. The season before they were up in 4th place, but things seems to be going a bit wrong for them now. So I just want to go and see if their owners are still the same. Doesn't look like it is actually. I can't see any of the former men from Manchester United. I can see Chris Casper used to play alongside them. He's a 48-year-old director of football, but all of the boardroom members have gone. They've got Ashley Cole as a scout, Warren Joyce was a former United one as well. They've also got Carlo Nash as a goalkeeping coach, so a few recognisable names there, but none of the class of 92, so that doesn't bode too well for them moving forward. Let's go and have a look at their transfer history. I'm just interested to see when they last spent money. They didn't the last 2 years, or the 3rd year either actually, so they haven't spent any money in this series so far, though there's still been a lot of players coming into the club. We're focused on ourselves though. We already know the deals that have been done and the ones that are pending. So let's go and have a look at the dynamics quickly. Everything looking pretty good at the moment. So let's go and get into this first game of the season, see if we can get off to a positive start. Bolton have played in the early kickoff. They took the short trip to Oldham and got a victory. They're now top of the league as a result of that. A recently relegated side, we'd expect them to do quite well this year. The media in terms of us predict a top half finish, so let's see if we can achieve that as well. I'm not quite sure where Salford are predicted. Might be worth us going to have a look at that actually. Salford predicted to be right down there again. They seem to be a side that are dwindling in terms of hope. The media have it very level, but we're just about slight favourites for this one. Both teams missing a player from injury. We've got a few trialists that are of course unavailable too, but we don't need to worry about that for now. The only notable absence is Rory Feely, the one man we paid a transfer fee for in the summer after a pretty strong loan spell at the second half of last year, and he got injured before he officially joined the club, so it was a bit of a waste of money in the end. We've got nearly 2,000 people here at Meadowbank, not bad for a home game against a side expected to be fighting relegation. We've just got to hope we don't get drawn down into that battle, as the board are hoping for a top half finish this year. So we're going to have a look at the 11 we've gone for today. I think just the 3 debutants to start with, because I'm going to take out Parkhouse and replace him with Presley. We weren't sure about that at the end of the last episode, but I just want to keep it as familiar as possible, gradually bed all of the new signings in, and I'm pretty happy with the 11 we've got at the club anyway, with hopefully 1 or 2 more to join in the future. So if we run through the 11, it's Grant Smith in goal. Of course we've got a new goalkeeper in Haddart as well. I think he will eventually displace Grant Smith, but we want to keep it as familiar as possible for now. Thomas Anthony at left back, he's overtaken Zamura. Now certainly our first choice in the fullback area. Got a wage right to £500 a week, which does mean he's got a 3-year deal now as well. And an under 20 Wales international, he's starting to look a good player, and I fear he could be one ending up being sniffed out by the top clubs. Next along is right back James Simpson. He was the big new signing that we're really excited about. out. We've got both of them on defensive duties, just in the hope that we'll be able to be a bit more solid this year. Two good fullbacks, strong in a tackle, and I'm hoping that will bode well for us. We've got Sam Sherrin and Kieran Jones at centre half, both of them pretty solid towards the end of last year, and then Callum Wright coming into the team in place of Matt Smith. His loan deal ended, you know we're trying to get him back again, but nothing's quite happened on that one yet. Stefan Moles drops into the deep line playmaker role, though we'll swap back if Smith does rejoin the club. The two new players are out on the wings, Ryan Broom on the right hand side, the 26-year-old we signed from Cheltenham, and then the left hand side is Callum Harriott, the former Colchester, Redden and Charlton man, an experienced international who comes on the left. Then up front we've still got Presley and Whittaker, but the new man Parkhouse is on the bench if need be. He's joined by the likes of Archer and Lopez who have been here long term, and then Matt Dolan and Keelan O'Connell new signings, both of them available off the substitutes bench if needed. The tactics are pretty much the same to start the season. We're not going to tweak too much for now, but if during the games we do find we're getting overrun, we can then adapt it as the season goes on. If we get Matt Smith back in, we can think about going positive, trying to keep the ball with better playmakers, but for now we've got a pretty average team in terms of technical ability, so I don't want to take too many risks in that regard. So let's go and get into this first game of the season, Dorking Wanderers v Salford City. Who do you think's going to come out on top? Let me know down in the comments without cheating. We'll see how many of you are right this time, and where do you think we'll finish this season as well. Of course, you know there's still Matt Smith or one or two others to come in. Hopefully they'll all join the club where we need them, and this could be a really special season for us. We've performed above expectations in each of the last 3 years. So into the first game of the season we go. Let's see if we can get a positive result. Fingers crossed the fans will be right behind us and we'll be able to give them something to cheer about. Matt Dolan needs a squad number, we'll get that done straight away. And let's go and get into the team talk and first half and see if we can put in a strong performance. Well, a 4-2-3-1 for the away side. Still a few players I recognise there. They've got the likes of Richie Tao in the holding role, Sarcevic in the number 10 position. So a couple of good players and a few regens in attacking positions. Could be something we have to watch out for. In terms of us, we've got a bit more experience than previous years, and lots of the players played a lot of games last year. So I'm hoping they'll have that EFL experience and be a bit more confident in pressure situations. Into the first half we go. It's been a pretty quiet start, and with 5 minutes gone, neither side's had a shot. Well, 20 minutes on the clock, what a dull game it's been. Neither side had a shot on target yet, although Whittaker's in from the long ball here. Stefan Moles over the top, Whittaker runs on, smashes the woodwork with his effort. He tried to trick the keeper by going near post. It beat him, he did that perfectly, but it rattled the woodwork and came back out, and unfortunately it remains goalless here. Still no shots on target with a quarter of the game gone. Probably not what the fans were hoping for, but it's Simpson, the new right back in attacking position, into Whittaker who's missed it, but a penalty's given. It looks like he was fouled. The best penalty taker at the club, Stefan Moles, so let's see if he can give us a lead in this first half. It wouldn't really be deserved based on a pretty quiet game. Stefan Moles steps up, right-footed to take it. Salford got the keeper diving all over the place, but he can't save it. He goes the wrong way. Moles just slides it in down the middle. The keeper went flying over to his left-hand side, but he couldn't do anything to stop the penalty. 25 minutes gone, we lead 1-0. The only shot on target of the match is that penalty, but it's been a pretty solid performance so far, and we're back on the attack with Thomas Anthony. Long throw in from the left to Whittaker. Nods it back down for Anthony again. Can he get the ball in? He can to Presley. What a header that is. Let's not talk about the Salford marking too much. We'll leave their manager to sort that nonsense out. But 8 yards out, a free header for the target man, and it looks like we made the right choice to start him. Now 2 shots on target in the game, 2 goals scored. We lead 2-0 with 10 minutes to the break, but unfortunately the news has got a lot worse now, as Sam Sherrin's been forced off by an injury. Let's see if it says what we can expect there. Potential knee injury, that could be quite bad. Lewis Lomas will come on for him. Not the best player, but hopefully he'll do a job. Still just under 10 at half time. Atkinson with a long throw on the left for Salford. No one's chasing it, I'm not sure why. Davis is going to get there first for the away team. He tries to cross it to the front post. Moles heads the ball away, but it only falls for Smith in the middle. Back to Tal, who we mentioned pre-game. Got a man over on the right in Hood, and we're not really doing too well closing down here. He gets it inside to Sarcevic. Back out to Hood on the right again. Into Richie Tal, just keeping possession nicely, waiting for that right opening to get one back. If they can make it 2-1 before half-time with our change back 4, I'd certainly fancy them to get back into it, and they're going to do so here. Henderson into the empty net. The ball in the box fell for Davis, who shot. It hit the defender, but the goalkeeper had already dived, and then from the rebound they tap it into the empty net. There's not too much we can do about that, but Lomas lost the first header in the box, and that's the problem when you've not got your first choice back 4. The rest of our defenders are probably National League standard. Here's Simpson on the right hand hand side with a throw-in though. Into Broom, who we've not seen much of in this half, finds Moles, who goes long downfield. Aaron Presley picks it up on the right hand side. Good hold up from the target man, all the way back to Lomas though. Simpson back to the keeper. We've been forced back too easily there. There was no need for us to go all the way back. Not the best play in the world from us. Here's Smith in the edge of his box though. Out to Kieran Jones, the left centre half. Lots of responsibility on him now as skipper. He switches it to the right to Ryan Broom, and he's got a chance to drive forward. Beats the fullback really well. Can he find the delivery too? Cuts back into the back stick. Harriott knocks it down, but it's cleared, and it's going to fall for Callum Wright in the centre circle. Can we keep that pressure on and restore the 2-goal lead? Back to Lomas on halfway. Long ball forward down the left. Harriott's in one-on-one. On his debut, he's been forced too wide. O'Malley's able to make the save in the end. Whittaker blocks the clearance, so it falls for Broom 30 yards out. We've still got the pressure on and a chance to score. Moles to Harriott, but he's a little bit too narrow. Moles goes for the back post for Broom. It's overhit and he's been forced out to the byline, and he's lost out in a challenge to Atkinson. Cleared long, and at half time it's going to be 2-1. It's still a little bit nervy here. Been a pretty even game in truth, but we've got the lead and that's all that matters. Let's hope we can hold on in the second half. Well, Nick Haycock wants us to encourage the team, so we're going to go and do just that. He's not normally wrong, so we'll trust his judgment. I'm a little bit worried about the centre-half partnership, though, and maybe that's a position we should be trying to loan someone, particularly if Sherrin's injury does turn out to be long-term. Out to Davis on the left. Good challenge from Ryan Broom, doing a really good job defensively there, and that's one of his selling points, actually. He's much better defensively than Fabio Lopez, and he's really supporting the fullback so far in this one. Here's Hood on the right-hand side for Salford. They've definitely been on top since their goal. 10 minutes to the break they got their goal back, and now at 2-1 they're completely on top and look like threatening for an equaliser. Into Davis, he heads just over. Again Lomas lost his man there, not really talking and communicating with Simpson, and neither of them ended up picking up the winger. An hour gone, it's a Salford corner. Henderson, the scorer, takes it. Drysdale's completely unmarked 7 yards out. I mean, thankfully he heads it miles over the bar, but that's really not good enough defending. With a quarter of the game to go, we will make some substitutions. Harriott's going to be replaced by Keelan O'Connell. He's going to drop to a support duty there, and we'll probably drop him back to wide midfield in a minute. Just go for a flat midfield 4, see how that works out. Callum Wright's going to come off as well. Matt Dolan into that deep line playmaker role. Stefan Moles back to the box-to-box when he played last season. 20 minutes to go, let's see if we can hang on. Still got one trick up our sleeve if we need it, and that's probably going to be Terrell Whittaker up front. He's not had the best game either. Well, 10 to go, time for tactical changes. It's been an even game, so we need to be cautious here. Broom's going to drop back to wide midfield, as is Keelan O'Connell on the left. Both of them really natural in winger roles there, so he's not going to have too much of an impact. We'll get back into it with that change made. We're going to take Terrell Whittaker off now as well, just gradually time wasting our way through the minutes, trying to hold on for a precious victory. And as you can see, you were probably screaming at the screen. I'd forgotten about the substitute at centre half, so I can't even waste time taking Whittaker off. We're going to have to live with the 11 we've got on. Halliday on the left hand side to Farley, ball in which is straight into the arms of Grant Smith. That's woeful delivery from Salford City, and we'll take them trying to do that all day. Here's Grant Smith with the goal kick, taking as long as possible to kick it out of his hands. He finds Broom with a pretty good pass as well, and he's trying to take on his fullback again. Back to Simpson, the right back. Been a pretty solid debut for him, but that through ball was poor to O'Malley. He clears it long, I'm not sure why he didn't pick it up, and he's dealt with by Jones, who finds Dolan. Into Keelan O'Connell. The two substitutes combining, back to Jones and now Anthony, overlapping from the left. Brilliant play, not a bad ball in either. Had plenty of fizz on it and it's not cleared yet. Broom to O'Connell at the back stick. He's hit the crossbar. It couldn't have been closer. We could have wrapped up the game there, just the width of the crossbar away. It's a corner on the right for Stefan Moles, an outswinging delivery for him. Can we please just wrap this up and relax? We don't want to have a tense grandstand finish. Headed away by the Salford defender. Aaron Presley chasing back but can't get there, and we look a bit vulnerable here. Salford have got a 3-on-1. Where's all the defenders gone there? Anthony does brilliantly, the left back, and that's why he's displaced Zamura. He's so good defensively, and we're going to start time wasting. Just want to try and slow the pace down a bit. You know the drill by now. We're not in a rush to get forward. We just want to make sure we're defensively solid. We're going to drop our line of engagement as well. Just make sure we're a little bit more defensive, not giving them pace to run in behind, as we almost did on that occasion there. Here's a throw on the right for Salford. Just 2 minutes of normal time left. Hood takes it on the right hand side to Farley. Delivery Delivery to the back stick, Simpson heads away, only as far as Richie Taldo, and it's out to Atkinson who delivers. Abraham shoots and hits the post. I thought he was offside and it is eventually given. Another one of those frustrating offside highlights. 1 minute of stoppage time to go. It's a goal kick to Salford City. I was going to go cautious, but you know my superstition, never in the middle of a highlight. Ryan Broom loses out in the challenge out there. Falls for Andy Halliday in the middle. The former Rangers man goes long, but Simpson heads away and then plays a 1-2 with Stephen Moles. Back to Grant Smith, the keeper. That's a risky ball at this stage. Cleared away eventually by Jones, and we played ourselves out beautifully there despite the high risk element. And now Keelan O'Connell's through on the left. Skins the fullback in 1-on-1. Can he find the shot? He can. What happened there? The net rippled, but it didn't go in. Must have hit the post yet again, but I've no idea why the net was rippling. Unless it's high wind, I can't explain that. Dale Grubb coming down the left hand side. Not the dedicated finish we wanted. It's end to end stuff and we just wanted it to be simple, but I think we have now seen the 3 minutes out. The two wingers have been excellent in that wide midfield role. Really good from Keelan O'Connell as well. And we've got another cross to defend and I think we've been given a free kick, and the final whistle finally does go. It was tense towards the end, but we nicked it 2-1 and we've got a win to start us off this season. We're going to tell the lads they did well. They should all look delighted by that, and the man we nearly didn't start, Aaron Presley, is the one who comes away with a Man of the Match award. Scored the winner as well. What a performance from him. Stephen Moles with a penalty too, and Thomas Anthony with some wicked deliveries from the left. Him and fellow fullback Simpson are going to be absolute stars this season. Let's go and see what the media said about it. Have a look at the early stages of the season. We're in the playoffs with one game gone. We'll certainly take that in 45 more. Well, the ones we wanted to keep an eye on were Grimsby. They stole the keeper we were trying to sign. Unfortunately, they nicked a win as well, coming back from 2-0 down early on. Not a good start for the goalkeeper there, but unfortunately they managed to get the 3 points. So a good start for us as well as plenty of others. Not too much we can really learn from this stage, but here's the bad news, a serious injury to Sam Sherrin. Let's go and see just how long it is. 6 to 7 weeks, he'll miss the first month, and I think that settles it. We'll need a backup centre half. I need to get a strong one in on loan because the ones we have got just aren't good enough. Lewis Lomas looked a little bit out of sorts, and realistically he's only National League standard. Dolan made his debut, as did a few others, a few standout performers from them as well, and the little bits of experience we've added, particularly the likes of Ryan Broom, look like they're going to be really crucial this season. So if we look at the transfers that are currently pending, a couple of strikers which we'll sign one of, and then Matthew Smith hopefully coming back in, so we have got room for a central defender too. So what we'll go and do very quickly before we finish, look at the scouted players that are available for loan. Are any of them decent centre halves? Any of them ones we'd want to sign realistically? We might as well have a look while we're here. Let's see if there's anyone we fancy. So Ashley Morsley is top of the pile. Let's just see where we've got that. Anyone from doubtful or above. Ashley Morsley loan listed. Doesn't look the best centre half in the world. 4-star ability though, apparently far better. So maybe I'm wrong and we should get him in. Physically he's brilliant, so he might be good at this level, dealing with those long balls forward over the top. So let's just see how much they want on the loan list. £1,100 a week, job done. Not much work needing to be done there. Let's hope Ashley Morsley joins the club. Gareth Greaves is the other one loan listed. He's at Preston at the moment. We've not got as much news on him and he's not got as much current ability, so not one we want to take a risk on just yet. Billy French is in there too. Falls in the same category as Greaves, so I don't think they're ones we're going to take a risk on. We'll just try a hand with Morsley for now. I'll just quickly check there's no one available for transfer. Reece Williams is still there, the hero from Torquay in last season's game. He rejected us earlier in this save, but he is now out of contract at FC United, so let's see if he wants to sign for us. He's someone we can consider bringing in. In fact, we haven't scouted him for a while, so let's go and get an up-to-date report. If it's still good, we'll consider him after that, but if not, it will probably be Morsley coming in. Tom Solanke the other option, but he's more of a holding midfielder. So a pretty good start to the season. Despite the injury to Sherrin, we could end up getting a better replacement in fact. And don't forget, he'd then be playing alongside a player he knows quite well, Kane Williams, who we got after being released on a free by City. He's a good young centre-half, but not quite as good yet, and his determined personality should help him improve, and then later in the season he can contribute more. But I'm really pleased with how we've started. I'm delighted we got the 3 points, and we defended astutely in the second half despite being down in our terms of our defensive quality, and we managed to get ourselves the 3 points, the sort of grip we're going to need throughout the season. So let's go and have a look at the schedule quickly, see when we might next want to come back, and I think it could be that one at the start of September. I know I normally like to leave it a bit longer, but that's such a big game against Bolton, probably the biggest reputation side in the league this year, and it's well worth us showing that game too. I'd expect them to be up near the top of the league. I'm not quite sure what their media preview is. I think it was actually mid-table or so, just 8th place they're expected to finish. So we could both be competing for the playoffs, could be a really interesting game as well, and fingers crossed we'll have Matt Smith and a couple of others on loan by then, just to give us that little bit of gold dust to go alongside our industrious hard-working squads. But if you did enjoy this episode and that very strong solid start to the season, please do put a thumbs up on the video. We're going to have a few tests along the way and it is going to be difficult, and we'll probably give up our place in the Carabao Cup and let our backup side have a go at that one. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the performance, what you thought of the tactic as well. Arguably, I think we possibly looked better when we dropped those two wide midfielders, so that's something I might consider moving forward. Harriet competent to do that on the left as well. And are there any positions I haven't focused on in the transfer market yet, which you think I might need to improve a little bit? For me, I'm pretty happy with the squad aside from that. Maybe just a goalkeeper I would have liked a better one, but we've signed a good one and we will give him a chance. The Grant Smith's a steady pair of hands for now. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content from my 2 long-term stories. The head coach is back tomorrow at 4:30 and it's a massive episode as well. There was big news in yesterday's one, so make sure you check it out if you haven't seen it already. If you're not up to date with the series so far, it's a perfect time to pick up with the series. Finally, I'm also part of a podcast that does matchday vlogs and interviews. You can see the link to our matchday vlogs playlist in the eye above. So if you are a fan of lower league football, do go and check it out. We've got FA Cup ties, non-league matches, all sorts of different football games we go to. And if that's your sort of thing, I hope you enjoy it. And thank you in advance for giving it a try. We're also available on Spotify, where we interview people from the footballing world. So the likes of former Premier League referees, broadcasters as well. And we also interview boardroom members and coaches at lower league and non-league clubs. It's something we really enjoy doing, and we hope you enjoy listening to it too. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support for the start of another season. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for a big game against Bolton as we try to continue that strong start to the League 2 season.